Roberto, ven a la pizarra, por favor. Jaime, dile a Roberto tu teléfono. Roberto, escribe el teléfono de Jaime en la pizarra. Muy bien. Oye, Diana, no hables, por favor. Escucha. No hables. Escucha. You have already studied formal commands that are used with people you would address as usted or ustedes. Now we'll review informal commands that you would use with people you address as tú. The informal commands, unlike formal commands, do not use the same forms in the affirmative and negative. First, we'll look at negative commands. The following chart shows the formation of negative tú commands for regular, stem-changing, and irregular verbs. Note that the yo forms of the irregular verbs are in parentheses to remind you that for these, the yo form does not determine the command form. No hables, no comas, no abras, no pienses, no vuelvas, no pidas, no digas, no pongas, no sigas, no estés, no seas, no des, no vayas, no sepas. Like the formal commands, negative tú commands are formed by beginning with the yo form of the present indicative, then changing to the opposite vowel. That is, AR verbs will take ES endings, while ER and IR verbs will end with AS. Remember that any irregularity in the yo form of the present indicative will also be part of the command form, including stem changes. Finally, there are completely irregular negative tú commands that are the same as those you learned for the formal commands, with the addition of S to the ending. Like the negative formal commands, any object pronouns must precede negative tú commands. No me hables. No lo comas. No las abras. No lo pienses. No las pidas. No me digas. No la pongas. No nos sigas. No le des eso. No te vayas. Unlike the formal commands, affirmative tú commands are not based on the yo form of the present indicative, but rather on the third person, él, ella form of the present indicative. This applies to all but a few irregular affirmative tú commands. First, review the regular verbs. Habla. Come. Abre. Piensa. Vuelve. Pide. The irregular affirmative tú commands are given in the next chart. As with the affirmative formal commands, object pronouns follow and are attached to affirmative tú commands. Háblame. Cómelo. Ábrelas. Piénsalo. Pídelas. Dime. Ponla. Síguenos. Dale eso. Vete. Está bien. Vamos a practicar. Let's practice. You will see and hear a series of infinitives with or without the word no. Give the appropriate tú command for each. Número 1. Escribir. Did you say escribe? Excelente. Número 2. No venir. Was your answer no vengas? Perfecto. Número 3. Tener. Did you say ten? Muy bien. Número 4. Levantarse. Did you say levántate? Fantástico. Número 5. No decirlo. Was your answer no lo digas? Magnífico. No te preocupes si todavía no sabes todos los mandatos. Once again, there may seem like an impossible number of forms to memorize, but remember to commit the relatively few patterns to memory. And instead of memorizing the forms of each individual verb, remember patterns apply to a given verb. Estudia mucho. Adiós.